Well, welcome back. Starr County election rules set to change by the time you go out to vote in the November elections.
A federal court issued a ruling on a policy that regulated the use of county facilities. Channel 5's Valerie Gonzalez explains.
The policy addresses who can use certain public property and in which ways. Some residents challenged the county. A federal judge weighed in, saying parts of that policy must change. Elections, like in any county, are busy, but in Starr, they also include food and crowds.
It looked like a cook-off competition, quite frankly.
Starr County Attorney Victor Canales explains he and other officials believe it was an intimidating atmosphere for voters. In response, they created two policies addressing county building and property use. It restricted access to the parking lots and set an age and limitations for those wanting to pass flyers on sidewalks, like Starr County Attorney Hilda Gonzalez Garza. She also serves as the precinct chair in the Democratic Party. Gonzalez was passing out flyers last year, but was stopped.
Two officers came over and they said, "You need to leave."
The officers were enforcing the policy, which stated anyone who violated it, like Gonzalez, could face prosecution to the fullest extent of the law. A federal judge changed that. The policy will still be enforced. Instead of prosecution now, people will only be removed from the premises. Canales says they'll allow distributing materials on certain public sidewalks near the courthouse. One candidate last year couldn't even get on the premises. He wasn't old enough to request a permit to pass out election materials.
Distribute materials politically for his run for commissioner because he was under the age of 21. So even if he wanted to apply for a permit, he couldn't do so.
The county will now have to allow anyone 18 years and older to request a permit for use of county property, as opposed to 21 years. Canales says this was a result of broader changes they felt created much-needed standards.
We have a lot of buildings in the county that were being used without any regulation whatsoever, and it was kind of unfair where some people would have to pay rent, others wouldn't. It was kind of arbitrary.
The judge's order will allow most of this policy to stay intact. Come next election, Gonzalez plans to head out to the sidewalks, distribute materials that reflect her political standing, and wait to see what happens. Now, just to clarify, those barbecue pits will not be allowed on county property, but take this site, for example, a really popular voting site here in Starr County. This is a courthouse. The property that belongs to the county, you won't find fire pits here, but you could find them in private property because that's outside of the county's jurisdiction. Now, we also spoke to the Starr County attorney today, and he told us that they do have plans on amending the policy. He didn't establish a timeline, but there is a court hearing coming up soon, and according to attorney Hilda Gonzalez Garza, she tells us they'll be determining if a trial is necessary. Live in Rio Grande City, Valerie Gonzalez, Channel 5 News at 6.